Wanjiko, and today we are going to be talking about gender-based violence, and I have my guest over here with me. He's going to introduce himself.
Thank you. My host, my name is George Wanyuke. George Wanyuke works with the county government of Kiambu. I'm the senior community development officer, Thika municipality, in charge of social services.
Okay. So today our topic is based on gender-based violence. All of us have a glimpse and an idea of what gender-based violence is, but according to you, what do you feel the definition of gender-based violence is?
Well, allow me to start by saying that this term gender-based violence is one of the most misunderstood topic, because people tend to always associate gender with women. They associate any form of violence to be occasioned against women, but gender does not necessarily reflect women. It reflects how we are made, our making, our natural making, whether it be made a woman or it be made a man. So that is what we really talk of gender. When we now talk of violence, it is everything that is done to oppress you by reason of how you have been made, in terms of whether you are male or female.
Okay. And people also misunderstand and say that gender-based violence, according to the name violence, it's all about physical violence. But there are different types of gender-based violence. One of them can be?
Like you've rightly said, gender-based violence has mostly been construed to mean physical violence, whereas it must manifest in very many other forms. We have economic violence, we have physical violence, we have psychological violence, and we also have emotional violence.
And then, for me, I feel that women are over-empowered. Over-empowered in the fact that men are not seeing that they go through things. Because, for example, if right now something happens and a woman, let's say it's a fight in a household, the woman is going to be taken as a victim and the man won't be the victim. Because right now we all believe that men are the ones causing these kind of things.
While what you say might be true, it may not be entirely true, because when we talk of gender-based violence, it affects both genders almost equally, because you are in a position to violate me based on your advantage position. So it does not necessarily mean that it affects one gender more than it affects the other. Because, for example, if I were to violate you economically simply because I'm the man and I'm the one that is working, I don't give you enough resources to meet all your basic needs as the husband, where I'm supposed to be the provider of your needs in terms of economic needs. That will be also a form of violation. You can as well choose to violate me emotionally, because that which I require from you, probably I can only get it from you by reason of wanting to maintain a sound relationship. If you choose to now deny by reason of having that particular advantage, maybe I did not give you enough cash to go do your hair, then when it comes to conjugal rights, you also choose to deny. That's also a form of violence. So it cuts across. And that's why I started by saying that it is the most misunderstood topic that needs to be addressed properly, so that we are able now to get to know exactly what it means and how we violate one against another.
Talking about misunderstanding, people misunderstand and have the perspective that gender-based violence only happens to the poor people, the poor families, the poor home, people with humble backgrounds, but the rich don't go through the gender-based violence.
Far from it. Gender-based violence cuts across all social standings. Doesn't matter whether you are rich, you are poor. It doesn't. It actually knows no bounds. And like I started by saying, part of the reason that we may now take it to mean that it affects people of a certain social standing is because of the fact that we do not understand how it manifests. So it does not affect the rich more than it affects the poor. Neither does it affect the poor more than it affects the rich. It cuts across.
So there's no specific people who are affected. It can affect anyone.
Let's not even say it can, it does.
It does affect.
The right word should be it does. It affects everyone and it is happening every day.
But you also know that this gender-based violence doesn't like come automatically. There are causes. There are causes of this gender-based violence. Something has to lead to this gender-based violence.
Yes, it doesn't just happen abruptly. It must start from somewhere. And perhaps I would rather we look at a particular aspect of it so that we are now able to address ourselves in it, because some of these instances are as a result of how as a people we are socialized.
Yeah.
Say for example, where I come from, I want to look at how sometimes we can violate women economically, for example.
Yeah.
I'm married to a woman, I'm living in the urban center, and my wife lives in our rural home, where I am a farmer, doing coffee, doing tea, I have goats, I have chicken, I have everything there, and my wife is doing all that. If she were to go to any government office where she is required to fill in a government form, and we get to where she's supposed to say what she does, most likely she will either say she's jobless or she's a housewife. But the same that which she does at home, which is considered not to be a job, if she falls sick and she's confined to some bed rest by a doctor for some time, remember those things will not stop. I will now employ someone, or I bring in someone to do that for a pay. Whereas the wife was not being paid, I will have taken the support that I provide to the family, which includes the children, to have been the kind of pay. But in this particular case, I'll continue supporting, but this other person that I bring in will do that which she has been doing for a pay. Even in this urban setup, in my home, if I have children that are still young, and we may require the services of a nanny, the nanny will be paid. But if the nanny goes and my continues doing that what the nanny has been doing, she will not be paid for it. That's a form of a violation. But largely this comes as a result of how we are socialized.
And how you grew up.
And how let's say how we are socialized, because we've been made to believe and know that is how things ought to be.
So what about, I feel like gender inequality causes gender-based violence, because people believe that men are the head of the house, men are supposed to do this and this. If it's fighting, men are the ones who are supposed to fight. You understand me? Yeah. So I feel that gender inequality in our society, it has made gender-based violence become a big thing.
Like I said earlier, largely it will depend on how we are socialized as a people. When I talk of socialized, is how we have lived within our societies, where men, by reason of their masculine power, they feel placed at a higher level than that of women. And women, they have also unintentionally taken the lower level. And I want to give an example that perhaps you'll be able to quickly relate with. Assuming we work in the same office, and probably you are the boss, and we happen to lose one of us, or one of us has a function that requires that we come together and organize for the same. If we go for our first meeting, the first committee meeting, to plan that which we are going to plan, or which we are going to do, and we are going now to elect the committee that will be doing it. Even if you are a PhD holder and I could be a diploma holder, as we are electing the chair of the committee, chances are we will not elect you. Even if you are elected, you'll be surprised. Because you are not supposed to lead. If you are very lucky, you might get the position of a secretary. And sometimes I like telling women, do not always take that position of a secretary, because that idea that you've had, you'll not be able to give it, because most of the time you'll be writing. You'll be writing, you will not be able to speak. True, even if you may not take that and you say something, it has happened and we all know it. If say for example you want to pass across a certain point, you are saying something good and perhaps you said it to the understanding of everyone. As you are done with it, as I stand up, I will not stand up and say anything different. what she was trying to say.
Yeah.
Meaning, you did not say that which you are saying. I will only now come like, I now want to give it the authority, the seal of authority. Because you said it. The reason being, you are a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you think that alcohol and drug abuse has affected this and is the cause of gender-based violence?
We will look at, I want to look at it differently. Not so much as a result of, not so much in the light of
A cause.
alcohol being the cause. Because even gender-based violence may as well be a cause to alcohol and drug abuse.
Yeah.
Because if say I'm a man, I'm violated again so much at home. And because I'm a man, I will not go crying to the police, to the elders, to the wazee wa nyumba kumi. I will choose to seek consolation from alcohol or any other drug that I may choose to abuse. At the same time, the abuse of that, of alcohol and drugs might as well lead to gender-based violence. So either of the two can contribute to the existence of the other.
Yeah, gender-based violence can contribute to using alcohol, and alcohol can contribute to gender-based violence.
Yes.
So they affect each other.
And I must hasten to say here that when we are talking of gender-based violence being occasioned against men, that is the most difficult thing to deal with. It is the same that you find that it is causing maybe even murders within families, because men are known to just be silent with something,
And to be okay.
and that day when it will explode, that is when we will hear stories that we have not heard. Because even if a man is beaten, men will rarely go to the police station
Or even share with the friends.
or share with friends. And like you said somewhere, our society has for the longest time believed that women are empowered than men.
Yeah. It's true.
And by reason of that, today we have women who are chiefs, we have women who are OCS in police station, we have women that are magistrates. So if a man beats a woman, she'll run to a police station, she'll find a gender desk that is manned by a policewoman. The policewoman will refer the matter to the OCS, who also happens to be a woman. And when the case goes to court, it will find a prosecutor who is a woman, it will find a magistrate who is a woman. So at the end of it all, man will not have a place.
Yeah.
And for that reason, that's why sometimes you find men are going out of their way. I'm not saying this by way of in any way trying to suggest that it should be there. But sometimes why the reason as to why you see men being too violent is because their openings are so minimal. Their route of escape, their routes of escape are so minimal. Even if men is violated at home, say for example physically, and they go to the reporting desk and they find men. Hey, Wambua, Kiprono, come and hear this man what he say. Kuja usikia anasema nini tumechapwa na bibi. So it will become a spectacle. And because they do not want to be seen as a spectacle, that is why most of the times you realize they will want to shy away from speaking. And now this failure to communicate is where we have the whole problem.
Okay. Poor communication.
Poor communication. They do not say what they are going through. And even when they go to their alcohol, because they are also made in such a manner that until they get drunk, that is when they will talk.
Yeah.
When they talk while drunk about what they go through, it will also be blamed on being drunk. Someone will think it is not even true. It will also be taken as a way of justifying your being drunk.
Yeah.
So that misunderstanding is what what is becoming a problem.
It's what is causing all of this.
But gender, I must say here, gender-based violence is occasioned to a very great extent against women than against men. Against women than against men. Men, by reason of having for the longest time dominated the decision-making levels, they have always made the decisions that tend to favor them. And that's why now you are seeing this kind of an awakening where women appear like they are now trying to fight for their space. And now men are also feeling threatened. And that is why we've always attempted to say that the men are, or women are being empowered. They are not empowered more than they should be. We are only trying to create their rightful space. Look at our churches. And I want to say this with all due respect. This word, with all due respect, was once said by someone,
Yeah.
and I don't want to say it in that light, but I want to say it with all due respect. Look at our churches. We have a Catholic father. Do we have a Catholic mother?
No. But we have sisters.
No, we have a sister and a father. There are so many ceremonies that can be conducted by the father, which the sister cannot conduct.
Yeah.
Meaning, the level of a sister is lower. And it is not lower because she is any lesser being. Her only reason of being subjected to a lower level is being a woman.
Yeah.
And she has no opportunity of ever rising to anything beyond a sister. Look at our education setup. Those high levels is where you find men shining all over. You go to our schools, where do you place women?
Principals, yeah.
Play group, ECD, that is where you find a lot of women. In fact, I can't remember ever seeing
A
a
man.
nursery school teacher who is a man. In about 1,000, there could be one or two. They are never there. Even in our former system, the 844, women are the ones that were getting children
The
from
lower primary.
1, 2, 3. Then she goes back to another lot.
Yeah.
Class 8 and class 7 and 6, where things are not as difficult. That's where you find a lot of men.
Men.
Because, why do we find them there? Why are we confining women into kitchens all through? You go to these big hotels, the best chefs are men.
Yeah.
Do these men still cook in the houses?
No.
They don't. But like I said, this is also based on how we are socialized. We are socialized that we are supposed to place women in a certain place. And unfortunately, they also contribute to that.
Yeah, they contribute.
They contribute to that. We talk of maybe we are establishing a primary school, a whole primary school, and we want to do ablution block. We will say we want to do 10 toilets for boys, 10 toilets for girls. Whereas we know their natures are different.
Yeah.
A girl, whether she's going for a long or short call, she has to enclose herself.
Yeah.
So we will do 10 rooms for boys, whereas we know there shall also be a urinal. And they can also go and stand against the fence there.
Yeah.
So if the break time was like for 30 minutes and we have about 500 children in a school, girls are 200, boys are 300, the boys will be done and get time to go to play. So before all the girls are able, I would say if we were doing 20, we do like 3 for boys and all the others for girls.
For girls. Yeah.
You see, we start oppressing them from such an early
Yeah.
age.
And it happens everywhere.
And it is happening even in our religious circles. The way we have structured everything, it is structured in such a manner that it appears to favor men more than women. And for that reason, that's why everybody will say that NGOs, government departments, and every other person, they are putting so much emphasis into empowering women. No, we are not doing that. That's not what we are saying. We are simply saying we are bringing them to their rightful place.
Where they
Say,
don't even-
I have a daughter and a son here.
Yeah.
My son is playing with boys out there and maybe his ball is taken. And he comes crying. Unaliaje kama mwanamke? And if my daughter comes and says that so and so has picked my ball, I'll hold her by her hand and walk with her and get the ball for her.
Yeah.
So by reason of telling my son that analia kama mwanamke, I'm like demeaning the woman. And that boy will grow knowing.
Women always cry.
Women always cry. The lower level is that of a woman.
Yeah.
And you see, the genesis of this comes from how we were brought up, how we grew. And even today, take a whole group of 10 women in their 40s. And let's assume they are going towards Majengo here. Then we assume that it is all dark. And maybe there is like a forest here. You ask 10 of them to walk around 10 p.m. in the night. 10 of them will not want to walk. Bring in a 15-year-old boy. All of a sudden they gain confidence.
Yeah.
So what are you putting in the boy? What is being put in the boy is we are the rulers. Even women at the age of my mother, they cannot go by themselves. So before we now come to deal with the real animal, gender-based violence, we need to look at the causes. We need to look at that which we've done for so long to allow this now to get entrenched into our system to a point where now it kind of appears it has been accepted.
Yeah.
We are just coming from a time where girls from your age would not even have believed that a man loves you until he beats you. It is taken like beating you is a way of expressing love towards you. Far from it. If I even pinch on you, I'm violating on you. So generally, I would wish that perhaps time allowing in the future, we might now create a time where we will want to look at the various forms and we address each one of them in an exhaustive matter so that our people are able to understand. Then we also give our audience, our churches, our preachers, and everybody, our mosques and our schools, and all community leaders, all opinion leaders, we want to help everyone see their role. This is not a government responsibility to help eradicate gender-based violence. It is the role of every parent. Because you want to say, we will want to ask ourselves, what gets into a man where you want to go and defile a young girl?
And it's happening a lot.
And it is happening a lot. What gets into someone where you even go and cause rape to have grown-up women? If you look at the background of this man that is doing this, whereas we may blame drugs, there are other underlying factors that need to be addressed for people to know, so that we are also able now to know how to deal with these people, and also how to deal with the reason that exactly bring about this, because these are things that we are living with. Because if taking people to prison was to eradicate that, then it would not have been there. So many people are already in prison for having defiled. So many people are in prison for having raped. But as we talk, somebody is being defiled somewhere. As we talk, someone is being raped somewhere. So it is my take that even taking them to prison is not the solution. The solution is getting to know and deal with the root cause, because it is happening each and every other day. Maybe as we move on in this topic, we will also get to know why it happens. We will get to read it ourselves and see how it happens. And sometimes these are things that we will clearly see and understand their point and place in our society, so that we do not end up blaming people. Because personally, I do not think that apart from this is in our penal code, taking people that occasion defilement, people that occasion rape to prison, it does not necessarily solve that problem. Because you take one today, tomorrow there is another one, next day there is another one. We will need now to look at these, and the various causes are the same, for us to be able to address this cause effectively.
And be able to identify how to prevent this.
Be able to identify how to prevent it, because there are areas that we can prevent. For example, when we talk of why boys develop resentment at such an early age, look at these are the companies that are producing beauty products. That beauty product will always be associated with a girl with nice hair, nice dress, nice body, and now they will look at the product and try to tell us how it has contributed into her looking nice. The only time that you see a boy is when we are talking of a detergent that will clean clothes. Then the boy will go jump into some garbage heap or into some muddy place, and he's so dirty. Then we now talk of this detergent, we begin to show boys at a very, very early age where their place is a place of hardness, a place of things that are not pleasant. So they grow knowing this.
So it's about how the society and their environment, how the surrounding, how they grow up.
Yes.
Is what is causing this.
Yes.
Because even these people who are in prison, or these people who are committing these gender-based violence issues, they were once children and they saw all this.
Yeah, they saw all that. Plus, there is another area that I don't want to leave. We may not be able to exhaustively get into this, where we have young men occasioning violence against women, and more so sexual violence. Most of the times, over 75% of people who do that, they come from families that have already broken. They were broken up at some point.
Yeah.
So the boy grew, hating a certain thing. And again, besides that, the economic situation of young men. You might be a university girl, for example.
Yeah.
And we are competing over you with a young man of your age. And because I'm working and I have resources which you need desperately, I will easily be able to get you from the young man.
Yeah.
Now, where do you leave, what options do you leave the young man with? To get that which he requires by force.
Okay.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Because this young man is deprived of the economic power. Now, the only left option here is to get that which he requires by force, because he feels an entitlement.
Yeah.
So what shall we do to the man? Take him to prison. Have we solved the problem?
No.
We did not understand why he went that direction.
Prison. Okay.
We did not. When we take him to prison, he will find other hardcore criminals there. So in the long run, we end up getting even more worse criminals. Every other day, we kind of appear to be generating and making them.
It's a cycle.
It's a cycle that will not ever end. It will always be there. But it will also take women to help us understand, because when we talk of gender-based violence, it also introduces us to another area that you had mentioned. I just did not want to go that direction.
Yeah.
You had talked of equality,
Yeah.
gender equality, and this is a topic that we have. It has been talked about for the longest time.
For years.
For years.
Yeah.
And I want to remind us, the first time it came up in Kenya, there was a convention in Beijing, China, way back in 1995. And the Minister for Home Affairs at that time was Honorable Nyiva Mwendwa, who went to China where we were talking of equality.
Yeah.
And the only thing even women remember about that, I was talking to a woman, was it yesterday, the day before yesterday, and we mentioned that. And that was the first time that I had met her after over almost 45 years. We met for the first time after about 45 years, and we started talking that, and I mentioned that subject. And she just mentioned what every other person has mentioned. That Nyiva Mwendwa went to Beijing for the Convention on Equality, where we were trying to agitate for equality for men and women, because women are presumed to be oppressed. Instead of telling us what the convention came about, all everyone is remembering is that Nyiva Mwendwa went to Beijing with her salonist. That appears to be the only thing.
The only important thing.
What was it? We are talking of 1995, we are talking of over 30 years. We've not been able to see much fruits out of it. It is a time now that we change tact and we take the war where it rightly belongs. We started from down there and now we grow with it, so that we are helped to understand what our contribution is. We have to understand what our expectations is. We are helped to understand that which we must do to end this, because it must not live in our midst. We must get rid of it. We must get rid of it by all means, by all situations, whatever it takes. Yeah. We have to really see that we put our best foot forward to make sure that we end gender-based violence in its all forms, in all the ways that it manifests. And for us to be successful in this war, it has to take both the gender.
We help each other.
Yes, it shall not just take men, it shall take women as well.
Yeah.
We are helped to understand what is happening Yeah.
But it can only happen if awareness is created, and awareness is not created. Because
Yes.
men don't want to be told, men want to be who they want to be. They want to make decisions for themselves, they don't want to communicate. And we have to create this awareness so everybody knows what to do and what not to do.
Awareness will be created. Such forums like we are in now, we are creating awareness and we are helping each other to understand the voices. Awareness is there in a big way. But us now exploiting these opportunities is what the problem is. Because, say for example, a girl is defiled. If I happen to be your husband and we have a daughter who I defile, part of the reason that you may not want the case to go to court, who will be fending for the family? The children who are in school, who will pay for their school fees?
No one, you'll be gone.
That way, we are defeating the cause for the child. So there are times our actions are seen to encourage that, to allow existence of this violence even the more. Because we are bringing in other very unnecessary considerations. We've had situations, I may not want to mention places lest one understands where, we've even had situations where children are being fired. And
not only
the
one.
matter, once it is reported to the police station, ends up in court, and because one has to take plea and there are several mentions that are coming, the perpetrator is released on bond, and as they continue with the matter, the mother will be invited to the chief's office. They negotiate and the mother is given something small at the expense of the girl. I know of a mother somewhere where in this county where a mother had been paid twice for her single daughter having been defiled. Before you realize what is being done, it has become like a trade. So it's like you want your daughter to be defiled so that you can get 100,000 from some place. And all they will do, if the parent is living in Majengo, where the investigating officer may know, the mother will just change her line and move to Makongeni. And so long as the complainant is not coming in court, the perpetrator will be acquitted because there shall be no evidence. Perhaps in days to come, as we continue sensitizing each other, we may have to relook at, we ask our course to see how best we can do it such that the child will be given an opportunity to testify as early as possible. Because the moment she has testified, it will not be possible to get the matter out of court. But the moment she has not testified and everybody else has testified, in the absence of the evidence of the child, or whoever it is that is in charge of the child, then the matter will always be thrown out by court for lack of evidence. So really, like you rightly said, this is a matter that needs to be addressed from all aspects of life.
The old, the young, everybody.
Yes, so that we are able to see what our entry point is. So that we don't have, even our school teachers, they also need to understand. They look at, they understand the psychology of the children and know how to talk to them about what is happening to them at home. Because maybe the mother will be keeping silent when the child is being defiled. The only person that will know it now is the class teacher. The teacher should be able to know and seek to know why this matter has not been reported. The child cannot come here with a condition for 2-3 days and nothing is happening and we are still keeping it to yourself. Something is wrong somewhere. Something needs to be done. So that's why I say this is it's something that we all need to take a collective responsibility, collective approach to make sure that it does not continue living in our midst. We must look at it for what it is. We must refer to it by the name it is known. It is not our friend. It is violating the rights. It is violating the honor of our people without necessarily looking at either men or women, because even young boys are being sodomized. Yeah. And we are facing serious, as people try to defend the existence of GBV, they are going to serious extents. Whereas we have organizations that are doing everything possible to help fight it. We also have other people that are also doing everything possible to ensure it exists. For example, why would we still at this age and time, why would we need to have FGM?
Yeah.
And it is happening. Government is spending money. NGOs are spending resources trying to help people stop this. But you go into some interior places that we may not wish to mention here, you still find it is being practiced
Yeah.
at this time and age, to the extent that the government has kind of formed a commission to address that. We ought not to be there. That is an area that we ought to have left years back. But then our development pace is a bit slow, and we may have to really move at our speed and ensure that we eliminate this vice.
And our law system should be much stronger than it is right now. Because in a way it's also encouraging this, because as you have said, you go and report, and that case goes away because either bail or somebody is paid and it goes away. So I feel that our system, our law system should be much stronger than it is right now.
It's my belief that our law is as strong as those that have the responsibility to execute it. Could be strong, but we have a weakness at the execution point. So it should be as strong as those that are supposed to execute it.
Yeah.
Because if we have very good laws, a chief of an area is expected to do something when development occurs. If the chief chooses not to do it, how does the law help?
No.
If a police officer is supposed to do certain investigations and they choose not to do it, they do it shortly. I mean, what will the law do? So the law is as strong as those that are supposed to see it happen
and
execute it as it is. So it is not the laws that are weak. Okay, of course there are certain areas that we need to look into and see how best it can be approached. But generally, in my view, what we need is to have people that have the willpower to see to it that you do that which you are expected to do from your point with all that is in you, to ensure that we do not have GBV, and let us also not go about it silently. My shorting part would be men. We know, it is known that a lot of you, great and small, you are going through various forms of gender-based violence. Do not plan to kill your family. Speak out. Because you'll go and kill innocent children. You'll also kill yourself. You shall all perish. Whereas it would have only taken you 10 minutes, speak it out to someone, that will save your life, it will save the life of your children, it will save the life of your wife, and together you shall live happily thereafter.
What can you advise someone who's going through gender-based violence in silence, or somebody who knows someone who's going through it?
Speak out. Speak out. If you are going through gender-based violence silently, it ought not to be so. Speak out. Identify someone whom you can confidently confide with and share that which you are going through. Speak out. If you are seeing it happen to someone, speak out. If a parent to discover, maybe you are living with a man and the man has become your breadwinner, they have now started to abuse your child, your daughter, and because you are fearing, there are places that this girl, we have what we call safe shelters. This girl will be hidden there. She will attend the court cases. And please, parents, let's not try to interfere with the court process because of the economic gain that we are getting from the perpetrator. Because that is another area that we are having a lot of problems. Women are fighting the cause of justice for their daughters by reason of the expected financial gain. They do not want to lose the man. Because the man has bought you a car, the man has bought you a house, the man has bought you land.
The man is a provider.
The man is a provider. You now want to sell the honor, the respect, the dignity of your daughter at the altar of that which you are getting. I think the dignity and the daughter of anybody, that surpasses all other gains that we would go with it. So really, it would be my case that as much as possible, we take our rightful possessions to ensure that we do that which must be done to end all forms of gender-based violence.
And how can these people, you've said people to speak out, how can these people seek help? Because you find in some cases you're not comfortable talking to your friends, you're not comfortable talking to your family, because people are just people, they're going to tell other people. Are there organizations in our communities, are there organizations in our counties that we can go and share whatever we have?
Yes, there are right now almost in every other town, any major urban area.
Yeah.
We have what we are referring to today as technical working groups.
Okay.
These are teams that are formed of different people from different sectors. They involve the police, they involve the medical doctors, they involve government officers, probation officers, the courts, teachers.
Yeah.
To the extent, if I discover a form of violation has occurred here, I know who to refer to at Thika Level 5. I know from Thika Level 5 who I shall refer to at the police station. I know who I shall refer to at every point. So these things are there. All you need to do is to know. The chiefs have been taken to some training. Village elders are taken to trainings. They have been properly sensitized. All you need to do is to know. And we also ask those of us that are in these positions, if such reports are also brought to you, do not look for the economic gain out of that. Do that which you must do by way of ensuring that justice is pursued for the victim.
So there are places we can go to.
There are places you can go to. Like I said, at the police station we have a gender desk that deals specifically with gender-based matters. You go to hospital, we have doctors, medical practitioners that are handling that alone. Today, you don't need to pay for gender-based violence victim. They don't need to pay for anything to have the P3 field.
Yeah.
It will be done for free. All you need to do is to know. Then if you hear it being occasioned in the neighborhood, be responsible enough. Let us know. We will also not expose you. We will not say how we knew about it.
Yeah.
But we will pursue it and make sure that justice is accorded to those that may be oppressed.
What's one last thing you would like to tell our viewers, and maybe something, anything that will help them?
What I would like to say is that we all need to appreciate that gender-based violence is a problem.
Yeah.
It's a monster with which we have lived for the longest. It is known to have been one of the things that have, to the greatest extent, taken away the honor, the respect, and the dignity of all the victims that have ever gone through it. I wish we can all look at it with that seriousness, that zeal of wanting to see the eradication of that from our midst, that our places, our neighborhood, our homes shall be safe for the children boys, the children girls, our teenage girls, even our young girls, and our women for that matter, indeed even our men, that we shall make it a safe haven for all of us where we can live happily as God initially intended. Avoid violating against anyone. For whatever reason, do not deny your wife money because you are the one that earns. If she denies you something, do not deny her money to do her hair simply because of that. Do not also usimpige vita ya baridi ya kumnyamazia. Women tusitukanane kwa kuimbiana nyimbo. Women alone, kuna nyimbo tunaimba ya kutusi mwenzako, mwingine unafunga leso imeandikwa kitu na huku nyuma ni ya matusi. Your husband is saying you spend all the time in the market and shops looking for a particular lesson that carries a certain message, that which you want to be communicate to your husband every day. And the moment you do that, you are only causing him to continue harboring pain in you, against you, and in days to come this might explode like a bomb and you will not be able to leave it. Finally, it is possible to have a community that is free of gender-based violence. Thank you.
And it is possible to end it.
It is possible to end it. All we need to do is to have that will and desire.
And get united.
And get united and face it as we ought to.
Yeah.
Each one of us has a role. Identify what your role is, and at the end of it all, you shall be considered a victor when we shall live in an environment where we do not have as much violence. You see, tunaishi siku za hapo zamani tulikuwa tunaishi katika kijiji, ungesikia nduru kaa 10 in different homesteads. Mwanamke akipigwa. We don't hear that. We don't hear that.
But you know, right now you can't like go, si kama kitambo vile kulikuwa kunajulikana that ndoa ni ya society. Sasa hii hadi ukisikia huyo mtu anapigwa kwake, huwezi enda kuingililia.
Okay, hautaenda kuingililia. In fact, I'm not even looking at it in terms of kuingililia ama kutoingililia. Ninaiangalia in the light of kuna mahali tumetoka.
Yeah.
Tumetoka katika hicho kizazi ambacho nitaingia kwa nyumba yangu, aidha nimelewa, nikute chakula kiko na chumvi nyingi, badala ya kuelezana, maybe I either choose not to eat it with as much salt, or ask that I get something different. We are no longer in that era. Ambapo watu wangeteteshana. Ukifika mahali where you cannot say anything else by your mouth, the hand will say that which you wanted to say, by way of hitting your friend, or by way of unastukia mwanaume amelala, amemwagiwa maji ya moto, amelala, amefanyiwa hiki, amedungwa na kisu, and such like things. Okay, we may not have eradicated that, but it is fairly reduced. It is fairly reduced, and it is our belief and hope that as we move on, we will live in a society that will be free from every form of gender-based violence. And I want to invite men to be the champions.
Yeah.
This war will be better won if we have more male champions than female champions, because after everything is said and done, men appear to be more the perpetrators than women. That I must say. So if we have more champions in men, we are likely to be winning this battle, not after so long.
And this month being Men's Mental Health Awareness, what would you like to tell the men out there?
They're just saying, I have never known whether that is true or not. And when we look at mental awareness or mental health awareness, our crude way of thinking is that we look at mental health as what we knew traditionally as madness.
No.
Yeah, that is what we knew. If you talk of someone who has a mental health condition,
yeah,
it is taken to manifest in a manner that says that this man is of mental imbalance. Yeah. First of all, we need to get the right concept of what mental health is, and also the various ways of treating that, because it does not necessarily require medicine. Yeah. We need to understand it, and we say, I used to hear people say when we were in primary school, whether that is true or not, but it was being said that we are all mad, except what differs is the degree of madness. So I can as well say that we all suffer various forms of mental health conditions, except the degree varies.
Yeah.
So we can now not apportion blame and say that particular group of people is the one that is suffering from mental health condition, as opposed to this other one. It is affecting us one way or another, and where we are not the victims, it affects us by reason of either our children, our brothers, our sisters, our parents, our sons, our daughters, our neighbors, and our friends. Because if I have a neighbor who has a son who has a mental health condition, there are certain things that I will seek to do, so that I am able to raise certain standards to keep that condition away from me. Probably I would not have done that if that condition was not there. So I cannot sit in my house and say that I'm happy that this condition is affecting my neighbor's son and not mine. I am equally affected by reason of living in the midst of people that are affected. Yeah. So it affects us all.
Okay.
Yes.
So we're going to look for another day. We talk about the mental health awareness.
Thank you
because
very
a lot
much.
of people don't know about it.
Yes.
And they need to be educated.
Yes.
So our viewers back there at home, may you stay tuned, continue engaging, continue liking, commenting. Yeah, today it has been a good time with all of you. Remember Thika TV, the world is